Hi. I just realized I'm pretty sure the music was not actually audible this whole time because Windows is fun and updating technology is very fun too. Hi, welcome. Apologies for the total silence that probably was happening for the last, 5 minutes or so because I'm pretty sure no music was actually playing. But it should be working now. But hi, welcome. This is unusual. This is a Tuesday stream because I missed yesterday's stream because I was not feeling well. So I wanted to try to get back to it a little bit. We'll probably just be hanging out unless I feel particularly after a bit that I want to play a game. If it is, it'll probably not be very long, and it'll probably be like Marvel Rivals, to be honest, because I don't know what else I'd play right now. But yeah, welcome. Hello. Hope everyone is doing okay. Yeah, this is probably just gonna be a chill stream. Hanging out a little bit, catching up a little bit. One thing I've actually thought about talking about is going over the games I've played this year, so that might also be something we try to do in a little bit. Not that I'm probably done with games for the year, if I'm being totally honest, just because, to be extraordinarily blunt, I don't feel like I'm going to finish any other games during the duration of this year, just because I feel like most of my time at the moment is being dedicated to multiplayer stuff. A lot of friends have been wanting to play Fortnite and Marvel Rivals and a bunch of other stuff. So I feel like most of my current gaming time is being spent working or just hanging out with people and playing games. I feel like I'm slightly off center. Like I'm always kind of looking slightly to the left. Well, my left, your right. And I don't know why. I think it's just a webcam positioning. I've been fighting this webcam recently, so that's been fun. Where sometimes it does not register, so I have to like unplug it and plug it back in. Because again, Windows updates is my guess, because I updated everything and a bunch of stuff broke. So part of the reason I'm also streaming today is I want to make sure everything's working, because I don't know if this update's a good idea or not. So I kind of want to make sure everything's in order, nothing's too broken, and have proper workarounds for things, so I don't have to like stress in the moment. But yeah, don't really have a ton to talk about today. Just been kind of vibing today. Again, I had a couple of games in mind I could play. Also, like, I was thinking about Portal, actually. So I might end up doing that, to be honest. Because that's a game I can beat in, like, an hour. And also just so I can delete it off my computer, because I've had it installed far too long. But given that I announced this as a chatting stream, part of me is like, maybe I shouldn't switch to a game today. Maybe I should just keep chatting. In case there's like, oh, people really want to see this game, and then we'll miss out because I did not announce it properly in advance. So yeah, maybe I should just stick to chatting today. I'm actually trying to find my game clearing list. It's pretty interesting this year because, like, I've been tracking it for a bit, and it's very interesting the level of slow decline, shall we say, in number. So, for example, the first year I tracked was 2021. I finished 42 games in 2021. In 22, I finished 32 games. In 2023, I finished 25 games. So the number steadily decreased for a long time. So for this year, I set a goal of 30 games and ended up finishing 32 again. So far, again, there's like 20 days left of the year. I could potentially squeeze a few more in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this number's wrong. So yeah, I'm not doing the best job of tracking in all fairness. But yeah, in terms of games I specifically finished that actually also released this year, it's not that many. Let's see, there's another code, which, depending on how you look at it, is potentially 2 games. it's sort of one game because of the way the remaster or the remake is set up, where it's like they're kind of lumped together. So I don't really think I would, classify them as two separate games. I think I'd just consider them one game in a way. Though for the sake of this list, they are split up since I took a break between Two Memories and Journey into Lost Memories. So there's Another Code, Two Memories. There's one game on the list I think I'm gonna skip over just because it'll be funnier if I save it till the end. But the second game that technically came out this year, I think. I think it was this year in a way, but I think it was also like available like on itch.io longer, but it only came out on Steam this year. So in a sort of cheating sense, it is a 2024 game. Let's see, Princess Peach Showtime. I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually. So yeah, to talk about the games I played this year, Another Code I really like. I played Trace Memory on DS, enjoyed it quite a bit. Another Code R never came out in North America. It was only in PAL regions. Hi Peter, welcome to the stream. I'm just chilling today, hoping nothing breaks because Windows Update and OBS Update. Again, this webcam has been fighting me lately in a way that's very concerning. My current guess is it's because of various apps trying to fight for priority over the webcam, so like Discord, OBS, and VC-Face, all trying to take priority over the webcam in a way that basically causes like VC-Face to not pick up the webcam at all. So I have to like unplug it and plug it back in, like close all programs and turn everything back on. So yeah, that's new. So streams might have tech issues because of that going forward. What else came out this year? Yeah, Another Code's interesting because they changed the ending specifically for Journey into Lost Memories. There's a lot that's different in Journey into Lost Memories, to the point where it's very polarizing actually, just because a lot of people think the Wii version has a better story, and I'm not, familiar enough to agree or disagree, but it is very much a jump the shark for the Switch version. Another Code R on Switch definitely gives Professor Layton energy for like total swerve at the last minute in a way that I kind of like because I like those games, but I can see why it also didn't really vibe with people. Was Hollow Break this year? I don't have dates written down for any of this. I think Hollow Break was this year. Yeah, it was March. So that was another 2024 game I played. What game? I was just talking about Another Code, or Trace Memory as it's also known in North America. Hollow Break, I'm not really a huge fan of beat 'em up, so I found it a little bit frustrating, but it was okay. I also don't know Hololive enough to really get the most out of it. I'm more into indie VTubers, to be honest. I mostly watch indies. I actually haven't looked at my Twitch stats, so I should look into that too. Maybe we'll go over those two at some point. There's Princess Peach Showtime as well. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's not like anything to like write home about, but I did enjoy the game. It's just kind of a nice little chill game. Again, good feel games tend to be very easygoing until you try to 100% them, in which case they're actually very frustrating. And Princess Peach Showtime is kind of like that too. Not as bad as like obviously Crafted Worlds and Wario Land Shake It are some of their worst 100%, but Princess Peach Showtime is more from an optimization standpoint, like not being able to skip cutscenes makes replaying missions take a long time, so that's my one real gripe with Princess Peach Showtime. Beyond that, I thought the game was very fun, though. I'm trying to think of other games that came out this year. 1000 Year Door, this is cheating, but that's probably my game of the year, just because it was already, like, my second favorite game of all time. Of course, it's my favorite game of this year, so I do have another choice, just because that's cheating. There's There's a couple games I could toss in really quickly at the end, like indie stuff. I can definitely get a few more clears in for the year. I might try to do so. Damn, there's a huge gap between May and, no, Thousand Year Door, yeah, Thousand Year Door was May. Yeah, between May and September. Then there's Echoes of Wisdom, which is probably my other favorite game of the year, and if we're not counting remakes, I'll go with, Echoes of Wisdom, because I did enjoy that game quite a bit. Definitely some performance issues, like frame rate, and yeah, the menus are very, like, clunky feeling, but in general, I did enjoy the game quite a lot. And this Mario Party, I did the story mode. I haven't played online at all in Jamboree, which is probably not the best call, in my opinion, to just play the story mode and then never actually reach out to anybody to play online. But yeah, I have not played Jamboree online at all. Was that this year? I think this game was last year. I can't see it because this game is rated very high on Steam. So when did this come out? Yeah, this was last year, so we won't count that. It's also a game banned on Twitch, so maybe I shouldn't talk about this game in that much detail. So yeah, going through the list, the only new games I played were Another Code, Recollection, well, Side Order also. Side Order was fun. As a roguelike, it's kind of shallow. Like, I wish there were a couple more, like, stage layouts and a couple more objective types. I think that would help. But as is, it kind of feels like it would get old fast, but I only did, like, one successful run. I meant to go back and do more. That's something I should do on stream at some point. Try to 100% Side Order, going through all the other endings. Oh yeah, I forgot, I meant to go back to this game at the end, but on a technicality, because I think on itch.io it came out sooner than this, but it came out in January according to Steam, but Constellation Tango is another game I played this year. So the games from this year that I beat were Side Order, Another Code, Recollection, Constellation Tango, Princess Peach Showtime, Hollow Break, or Hollow X Break, I don't know how it's supposed to be said, Thousand Year Door Remake, Echoes of Wisdom, Jamboree Story Mode, and Shadow Generation. So I've played 9 games this year. Someone who did all the palettes, it's wonderful. That's good to know. I need to give it another shot, to be honest. So, like, I give every game a score because, tracking things for the end of the year. So let's see. Yeah, I actually didn't play anything that I particularly disliked this year, which isn't uncommon, to be fair. Yeah, I actually enjoyed Constellation Tango quite a bit. I'm also very biased, though, so maybe I'm not the best judge on this particular game, but I did enjoy it. It's only... it's not that expensive because it's, you know, a small studio and everything. Small indie published game. But if you want to help support a very good girl, shall we say, Constellation Tango is actually very fun, in my opinion. So yeah, what did I finish this year is another question. So all the games I finished, going through everything, Celeste 64, God, that was this year? It doesn't feel like it was this year for some reason, but it makes sense. Celeste Classic 2, that game's hard. I actually didn't really care for it, even as a Celeste fan, I didn't really click with that one. Again, Side Order and Another Code 2 Memories. There's another game called Just Memories, as in the word memories, which is actually a very short visual novel, basically about a breakup. And it's definitely not for the faint of heart, shall we say, but I very much enjoyed it. That's one of the highest reviewed games on my list, actually. Partly because I was going through it at the time and needed something just to be sad over, basically. Sonic Superstars, I never actually finished the true ending. I'm only counting main story for this, but even then, I wasn't super crazy about it. And then trying the extra story stuff just really burnt me on the game. Again, Constellation Tango, Showtime, Mighty Switch Force I didn't really like. Partly, I don't know why. Gonna be lurking for a bit, but I hope you have a good stream. Thank you, Delphine. Enjoy your lurk. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see, Mario Party 1 I finished this year. That game hurts after a bit. Like, it is the most brutal Mario Party in terms of just tossing constant, like, disadvantages at you. And also just physical pain from how much, like, you have to spin the control stick. Even on a Pro Controller, it's not great. Ooh, I'm winded. Maintaining this voice is not the easiest thing I'm discovering. Let's see, yeah, another code R. Again, I took a break between the two parts of another code. There's Lego Builder's Journey, just a little cute puzzle game. It was free on Epic, so that's how I have that one. Hollow Break, again, not a huge fan of beat-em-ups, but it was alright. I think I'd enjoy a different generation, to be honest. Again, I don't even know how to talk about HoloLive stuff, to be honest, because I don't know enough about HoloLive to really have, like, a super deep opinion, but, you know. Who are my favorite HoloLive members? That's another good question. Well, the unfortunate part about my favorite HoloLive members is one is, graduating very soon, so, I haven't really put much thought into it beyond Fauna is the problem. Again, I don't watch a ton of HoloLive. I mostly watch indies. Or VShoja, actually, quite a bit. I'm genuinely trying to think of other HoloLive members I feel like Nerissa, I suppose, would be next. After Fauna, for me. Let's see, after Hollow Break, there's Thousand Year Door. That took 2 months to beat, apparently. Again, biased, but that's probably my game of the year. If we're counting remakes, I need to play that on stream. I need to play all of them on stream. Again, I've talked about this before, but if I had the means to do so, I would even stream Sticker Star, because I am curious to see if my feelings on the game would change in 12 years. Idol Showdown, I finally beat the Virtual Frontier mode. There's a lot of fighting games on my list because they're short and easy to clear. Then there's like the 2 games in the Year of Springs collection, which are very short visual novels about LGBT themes. So Last Day of Spring and Spring Leaves No Flowers, all 3 of those. The Year of Springs collection I highly recommend. It's like $5 for 3 very LGBT coded visual novels, but also again, like, very short. Like, you can get all the endings in like half an hour. That's a game I've thought about streaming, but that's a case of like trying to figure out how to make those interesting. Like, maybe have like friends who maybe don't know the stories, like help voice some of the characters or something like that and get their reactions. But again, that takes asking people to collab, and I have not done that. After that, there's the original Doom. It's a game I respect more so than I enjoyed, if that makes sense. Like, getting to see an early, like, shooter was interesting. But I don't think I'm a huge fan of Doom. 1, at least. Mostly just because I think I'm too... I didn't grow up with Doom as someone who was very, like, sensitive to gaming violence, or just violence in media in general. I definitely was not allowed to play Doom as a child. Also, raised in Christianity, so definitely not allowed to play Doom. So yeah, no nostalgia, but it's fine. Not like my favorite, but I respect that this is like the template for FPS going forward, basically. At some point, I'm like torn because everyone hypes up 2016, especially, and it's like my level of being able to handle violence versus my level of being curious in this game that everyone's hyping up. So like the FOMO versus my issues with violent games. So I don't know which will win out in the end. I own 2016 because I got like a bundle for like $7 of all the Doom games except Eternal. So I have them all. It's just a matter of will I actually play them. Rivals of Aether. I actually don't like this game that much. This is a hot take on my opinion, but playing games like Rivals of Aether and Multiverses just kind of made me realize I don't think I like Smash Bros. If the characters are like not Nintendo. To be honest, like if you just take these styles of games and then have non-Nintendo characters, I don't know who these characters are in the case of Multiverses, or at least I don't have an affinity for like any of these characters. So I'm just kind of indifferent to that game a little bit, to be honest. I think it's still a very competent like platform fighter, but it's just... And I also feel like the mod scene would be the most interesting thing to me about Rivals of Aether. I don't think the core game actually grabbed me that much. But again, I respect Rivals of Aether quite a bit, but it's just, I don't think I'm into platform fighters that aren't Smash Bros. It makes me wonder how I'd feel about PlayStation All-Stars, because that feels very different than like other platform fighters. Yeah, Multiverses just has the problem of, one, monetization at the moment, and two, I just don't really gravitate towards like Warner Bros. Properties. Like, I don't really know DC Comics very well. Of the two, I definitely lean more towards Marvel, and even that's like not huge. I'm like casually into Marvel. I've been kind of contemplating them because of the collection, MVC Arcade Classics, which I actually am planning to stream at some point. I've been like thinking about just making a Marvel Day at some point, because like arcade games are kind of short, so like I've thought about doing like a stream thing where I play like 2 of the games on the collection at a time. So like first would be Children of the Atom and probably X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and play those 2 games like in the collection, and then maybe like add on like Marvel Rivals at the end, just to fill out the rest of the time and not just totally burn out on classic fighting games. But yeah, I'm trying to think about how to work that schedule-wise. But yeah, there's a lot of fighting games on this list. Guilty Gear Isuka, both the arcade mode and the beat-em-up mode. I didn't really care for Isuka that much, but I could play as Dizzy, so I could kind of BS my way through the game. So, even though I think the mechanics of Isuka are very unwieldy, it was alright. It's definitely not my favorite Guilty Gear, obviously, by any stretch, just because of how awkward some of the gameplay elements are, but I did kind of enjoy it. But again, it's mostly just I was on a kick of trying to play every game that Disney was in, either on stream or on my own time, so Isuka is one of them that I do own. I've thought about streaming more Strive, but I think I'm kind of plateauing at the moment. I need to go back and drill fundamentals a bit. Mostly roaming cancel. I do not RC enough. So after Isuka's Street Fighter Alpha, I actually didn't really care for Alpha 1, mostly just because the final boss was very time-consuming, as it can be expected from arcade classic games like that. Immediately after, like the same day, I played Darkstalkers 1 and had a much better time for some reason. Maybe I just like Darkstalker's character designs more. They're very striking, to be honest. Like, obviously Morrigan is the main one. Though I think I played Felicia in that case. Then Echoes of Wisdom, again, already talked about it a little bit, but I quite enjoyed Echoes of Wisdom. Then Control, which was because I didn't want spoilers because Proton John was playing it, and I wanted to watch the game clearing streams, and I wanted to experience it for myself, and I had my copy for like 8 months, and finally got around to it, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I also played the DLC, The Foundation. Not as good as the main game, just because of its like brevity, but it was fun. And then the AWE was like, this is cool, but I've also not played Alan Wake, so I have no clue what's happening. Like, this would be like super cool if I was an Alan Wake fan, but I've not played it, so I'm just really confused. Also, the difficulty scaling felt really bad in that, to be honest, and like, literally everyone, I looked at the final boss and everyone complains about the final boss, apparently. Like, just being way too difficult. Super Jump Fighter Minimix, also part of the Fighting Collection 1. Just a very fun, like, Capcom crossover kind of game. Very, like, toned down maybe mechanically, but still very, like, just kind of chaotic with the items and stuff. Again, already talked a little bit about Jamboree. I enjoyed Jamboree. The single player quite a bit, except like 3 mini games. The key one, the block one, and I don't remember what the third one was. But like the block one, where it's like there are 4 arrangements, and you have to pick one that no one else has picked. That sucks. Trying to get first place against AI in that's just terrible. The key one, I literally had the AI get the right key first try, and so I had to redo it. I've heard stories of people getting stuck on that minigame for literal hours because the AI will just snipe the right key immediately and you won't even get a turn. So, yeah, some of the minigames are definitely not meant to be played against AI, but other than those couple minigames, I've seen comparisons actually to Mario Party Advance of all things, and I kind of don't disagree, but it almost feels like Advance but more, like, structured. But, like, Advance is weird because it's, like, single player, and, like, you go around a city and do, like, favors for people. Like, oh, I need this item from this other character. Can you go and get it for me and bring it back? So, like, I am Mario Party Advance's strongest soldier, to be honest. I actually enjoyed that game quite a bit. A lot of it's nostalgia, I fully admit, but I actually did like that game a lot as a kid. It's a terrible Mario Party by definition of not being a party game. But it's like a weird single-player, like, go around and help people kind of game. I actually did kind of like it. So yeah, Jamboree kind of has similar energy, but a little bit less, like, dice-based, which is nice. But also, yeah, just kind of fun little charming story mode. There's A Little to the Left, which was free on Switch for a bit, so I played through that. It wasn't quite, it obviously didn't hit the same because I had seen A Little to the Left, but it was still fun. Nice little puzzle game. I forgot a lot of the solutions because my memory is garbage. Then there's the original Jetpack on Xbox, as in the, like, ZX Spectrum game that Rare did. I just booted up Rare Replay at one point, and ended up getting all the achievements in that. I did not enjoy that, but I also recognize this is a game that's, like, way before my time, so it's impressive it's, like, there. It's impressive it exists, and I recognize the history of it, but yeah, Jetpack was not the greatest time for me, and just very, like, tedious, and also very difficult at the same time. After that, there's Mice T. Again, I don't know how much I can talk about this game, because it is banned on Twitch. But I did enjoy Mice T, for what it's worth. Ended up getting on the trans route. like without even meaning to, which is very on brand for me, I think. And then finally, Shadow Generations. I am still trying to parse my feelings on Shadow Generations. It's obviously very recent, but my biggest issue with Shadow Generations is I keep thinking of like things I wish the game had done, and then I keep being like, oh, I wish they had done this, but it's like judging the game for what it does, it's like really great. But just a case of thinking about what the game could have done, and I guess that makes me feel a little bit like there's some missed opportunities, but you know, again, that's kind of unfair judging things that weren't happening with this game, so a little bit torn on those feelings. But at some point, I will probably do a full playthrough of Shadow Generations, and Sonic Generations too, because I've been playing through that on my own time, and I am not having fun with this game. Truth be told, playing Shadow first is like, wow, they really figured out a lot in 10 years, and Sonic Generations feels very, not great by comparison, but that makes sense. It was really cool at the time, because Sonic wasn't such a lull as a franchise in that era, but now that Sonic is kind of back in a good spot, Generations almost feels kind of off in a way. But again, it's still fun, it's just I'm comparing it to Shadow, and I'm not nearly enjoying it as much as I enjoyed Shadow. And yeah, those are all the games I finished this year. There's a lot of games I started and didn't finish, obviously like Genshin Impact and Star Rail. I'm almost to the end of Chapter 1 though, so I am at least making progress in Star Rail. I might have finished Chapter 1 actually. It says there's still missions left, but like the dashboard's already saying stuff about the next chapter. Like on the PS5. Never finished Hollow Cure because I was waiting for updates for new content. Since there really isn't an ending to Hollow Cure yet, I'm not really counting that. Street Fighter 6 I got like partway through World Tour and stopped. Been meaning to go back to that though. Pokemon Violet I got to the first gym and stopped. This was back in September of last year actually. September 2023. My problem is I kind of want to restart Violet, but I caught a shiny Psyduck immediately, and I'm like, I don't want to pay $3 for home to transfer it first. So I'm trying to decide if it's worth restarting just to have like a full playthrough in a row, or if I should just keep the shiny Psyduck and keep going. Again, maybe I should just pay like the $3 for a home subscription, just keep it, and then restart. Yeah, and like East, I meant to finish Oath and Felghana, but I got sidetracked by something else. In terms of other games, like I haven't started Brothership yet. I've been meaning to, but Brothership came out at a very awkward time, shall we say, and I think it's for the best if I leave it there. But yeah, just to say, the weekend that Brothership came out, I wasn't really feeling a Mario and Luigi game, for reasons. I will move on from there. I also have a list of games I wanted to finish this year and didn't. So like DMC 1, Donkey Kong Country 3 I've never finished, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. Yes, I have never actually finished Fallout New Vegas. As hyped up as people talk about that game, I've never gone through it all. I have 4 Fire Emblems, Conquest, Revelation, Echoes, and Engage, Great Ace Attorney Adventures, Hades, Guilty Gear Overture, Ikaruga, Persona 5 Strikers, Persona Q 1 and 2, Rescue Team DX for Pokemon, Moon Factory 4, Rayman Legends, Scott Pilgrim, Spyro 2 through the collection, Transistor is one. I was watching Delphine play Transistor recently, and I really want to get back to it, actually, because it was a game that I started and got sidetracked. This happens a lot. But I definitely want to go back and finish it. But my thing was I wanted to go in order, because, like, I don't own Pyre, but I do own Hades, and I have played Bastion, so I wanted to play all of the Supergiant games in order, but that means I have to get through Transistor and Pyre before I get to Hades, so it'll be a bit if I stick to that original plan. I might just skip ahead to Hades, though, with Hades 2 around the corner. Yeah, Yakuza 0 is on this list of games I wanted to finish this year and didn't end up finishing. So once again, this is being pushed back. It's been 4 years, by the way. I've owned Yakuza 0 since like 2020. And I still haven't gone past, I still haven't even tried the first Majima section. I always stop right before Majima, and then never actually play farther. This is like the second time this has happened. I also have a wish list here. Some of these are not relevant because they're already out, but and some of these got delayed. But yeah, of games that came out this year that I didn't get to play at all, the biggest one is Rebirth. I really wanted to play FF7 Rebirth, but I just didn't want to spend full price for it, and frankly, if Part 3 won't be until 2027 at the earliest, I can wait, to be honest. I don't like cliffhangers. Again, I've told the story before, but it's why I haven't seen Spider-Verse yet. Because I'm waiting for all the parts to be out before starting it. And Beyond has been delayed indefinitely. It's like weird, I keep using like the Gwen skin in Fortnite, because I played that season, specifically for Spider-Gwen, to be honest. Truth be told, even though I've never seen Spider-Verse or read a comic, like, once in my life, I've always liked the idea of the character of Spider-Gwen. That's how I feel about a lot of characters, where it's like, I've never directly engaged in the media these characters are from, but I still enjoy the characters. And I mean, that's part of where I'm at with Rivals at the moment, where I'm very not into Marvel, usually. Like, my Marvel experience is very small, but I still know a lot about specific characters. Like, obviously, Korean ice-themed VTuber, you can guess who my main is in Rivals. In this case of, like, Luna Snow is a very interesting character, because she was basically made for a mobile game, actually. I think it was Marvel Future Fight, which I think was, like, a Korean-made mobile game, so they wanted, like, a Korean character. So yeah, they just made up a character for this game, from what I recall, but she was popular enough that she ended up in the comics. If I'm not mistaken, she's part of a team of, like, all Asian superheroes, too. So yeah, who else? Again, I mostly play Scarlet Witch and Luna Snow at this point. I really want to branch out, but it's getting results, so I feel like I might as well just stick with these characters. I'm having some amount of fun. That might seem more cagey than I mean it to be honest, but that is the best way to put it. But yeah, I'm having some amount of fun with Marvel Rivals. As in, yes, the game can be very frustrating sometimes, but I'm still enjoying it for the most part. See, now I kind of want to play for a little bit. Again, I started a little bit earlier than 5, so maybe play for like 45 minutes or so. Yeah, what the hell, why not? One moment. I can't guarantee that I will be playing this game for very long. The way I described it at one point to friends is, this is the most, like, it's so over, we're so back game I've played in a very long time, where, like, my opinions on Marvel Rivals are oscillating wildly from moment to moment, I feel, where it's like, sometimes I'm having a great time with this game, other times I feel like I'm not having a great time with it, and it's just very variable. Which, I mean, is still arguably better than Overwatch, which was more of a net negative, I think, in terms of, like, average feelings on playing this game. Like, at least with Marvel Rivals, there are some times when I'm, like, genuinely enjoying it, so that is arguably a step up. I need to rearrange some things. I do wish I had installed the game on Steam and not through Epic. I went through Epic because I didn't know if you needed to do that to get the Fortnite glider. Like, not even kidding. So if I had known that you could actually just link everything anyway, and that there's also no cross progression, I probably wouldn't have started this game on Epic. I probably would have tried starting it on Steam. Actually, one moment, I don't know what this is gonna look like when I start this game up. Okay, it's fine. It is working, so we're gonna hop over here, I think. My computer's not enjoying this very much, just like, switch to this game. This game is very heavy to run. It is not, in my opinion, the best optimized game. Like, I got into the alpha, the first one, and it crashed a bunch because of, like, RAM bottlenecks. So, yeah. This might go very poorly. Again, this is part of the reason why I never committed to, like, fully streaming this game, just because I don't think it's gonna go terribly well. And again, my level of tolerance for this game is also not the highest, so I might burn out very quickly on it. I wanna not play this game. What if I just do something really stupid and jump straight into ranked after not having played for a bit? And by for a bit, I mean since last night. One thing I will praise this game for is, well, it's free to play for one thing, so that also means that the matchmaking times are absurd. Like, if you, like, try to matchmake, you'll be in a match within 5 seconds. Like, a lot of people are playing this game at the moment, so there's no shortage of, like, people to play with. I wish there was a way to hide usernames now that I'm looking through some of these usernames. Like, Fortnite has a system where you can actually hide usernames, just be like anonymous, blah blah blah, and I really wish this game would do that too. There's another thing I wish this game would do, and that's the ability to not have automatic kill cams. I wish there was a way to immediately start spectating the other players or on your team, because I really don't care for that personally. So yeah, there's a lot of, like, sort of quality of life things that I wish were here but are not. So again, it's early days for this game, so hopefully some of these features will be added in the future. But again, overall, it's like, again, kind of going back and forth a little bit, where it's like, I think sometimes I'm really enjoying this game, and other times I feel like it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Just, you know, if I get on a losing streak, obviously I get a little bit discouraged by this game. But again, this isn't any different than, like, Overwatch, which I found to be very over-competitive. I feel like I'm going to regret this decision very quickly. Hello, welcome back.
Maybe 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
As you can see, I switched over to Rivals because I basically already got through talking about what I wanted to talk about. One thing I didn't actually talk about is Marvel Rivals, because that is a 2024 game. I just didn't put it on the list because, obviously, there's no story mode, so I usually count completing games, like game clearing, from the perspective of single player content, and there isn't any in this game, really.
Securing the mission area is your top priority.
Yeah, this game's been interesting so far. Again, definitely needs some work, I think, and I think balancing is the main thing I've seen complaints about. The other main complaint I've seen is specifically about Tokyo 2099 being horrifically under-optimized, basically. The current theory I keep seeing is, one, the character models are extraordinarily detailed. People have actually started ripping character models, and yeah, they are, like, really complicated, in a way that's like, yeah, I think they could have toned them down a bit, and that might be why I've known multiple people who are like, I am in a match, and I'm seeing no one. Like, no one's character models are loading. Like, multiple people I've talked to are saying things like that. So I definitely think that's a huge issue of optimization. The other thing is, like, there's a lot of destructible environments, and it feels like the maps that have more destructible environments, like Tokyo specifically, tend to be the ones that load the worst. I'm not doing the best right now. Again, going straight into ranked was probably not the best call, in all fairness. Hey, we made it to the point, at least. That's not too bad. I guess maybe my other issue is I don't know how to counter, like, anything at the moment. Like, how do you deal with Cap's shield? How do you deal with, like, most supers? How do you deal with, like, tanks in general, which is also an Overwatch problem. I don't know how to counter, like, Reinhardt or Orisa. I say it's an Orisa main-ish. I say ish because, like, in Overwatch I mostly play D.Va, Mercy, Lucio, and Orisa. And 2, and by that I mean, like, the 3 matches I've played of 2, I barely played Overwatch 2. I think I mostly played Kiriko, actually, which, again, probably is why I'm playing Luna at this very moment, because she's basically like Kiriko a little bit. In terms of overall playstyle, like, the ability to, like, use various heals and regular attacks. The other weird complaint I have is I wish there were more skins. I feel like there's, like, almost nothing at the moment. Like, one alternate palette, and that's kind of it. In a way that feels very underwhelming. I wish there was more, like, variety. Even if it's just like, oh, this is Captain America, but, like, a different color. I think that would still be more interesting than just having, like, one alternate color. Like, obviously the really premium skin's really nice, but obviously they take a lot more work. So I do feel like there should be more just, like, color palette swaps, at the very least, just because I do think this is a little bit underwhelming in terms of selection. Man, we're making no ground here, and we're already at, like, 60 seconds remaining. Do we have a full team? We do. We don't, actually. We're missing a Vanguard. In terms of, like, we're not, like, 2 of each, basically. I'm also healing really badly at the moment. I'm not keeping up with healing, to be fair. And we have 2 attackers. I'm also talking and playing. That's probably not helping, in all fairness. So I'm, like, you know, split focus a little bit. Well, that could have gone a lot better. Like, we got nowhere even close that time.
The current score is 0-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
I'm Luna Snow. Like the moon, I shine in darkness.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Also worth mentioning, I feel like I don't have the most experience with hero shooters. Like, I played a lot of Overwatch 1, to be honest. Time to play the best damn Luna Snow of my life. Yeah, I don't think that's happening, to be honest.
Round 2.
It's
Go.
easier being a
It's a mixed feeling I have with games like this, because obviously I play a lot of Strive, but it's a very different energy to losing, because like if you lose in Strive, you only have yourself to blame,
He'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay
which
strong.
gives a very different energy, to be honest. In a team game, there can still be frustrations, but it's not like your fault by yourself. In a lot of cases, it's like a team effort to try to make this work. So it does take a little bit of the pressure off. However, it also has the other downside of sometimes it's frustrating if, like,
3.
your team is just not being cooperative, which can happen quite a bit.
Securing the mission.
We only have one attacker at the moment, which is probably not the best thing, to be honest.
I suck.
Yeah, with Luna Snow, I don't really know. I know a lot about her as a character. I don't really know about her, like, storyline, if that makes sense. In terms of, like, Korean characters in comics, so, like, main, like, female characters, specifically female characters, I should stress. The two main ones I always think of are Luna now, and also, obviously, there's Silk, or Cindy Moon, who... There's definitely some choices made with that character. I think that's the nicest way to put it. Like, to be totally blunt, it's a case of, like, yeah, a lot of the writing for Cindy is very sus early on. To be completely blunt. It's like, I'm still fascinated by this character, and wish she would actually show up in more things. Like, I think there was gonna be, like, a Silk Amazon Prime show or something, but, like, Madam Web bombing made Sony reconsider. Yeah, they only had to get like a third to win, because we did so bad the first time. Who could have seen that coming? Me jumping straight into ranked was not a good call. I don't even know who would get MVP, because that match was so short. Yeah, that was about what I would expect, to be honest. So yeah, it's interesting how you don't really have a lot of, like, tanks or support characters in general. Like, obviously, if you sort, like, there are not that many vanguards. And there's not that many healers. Well, there's even less healers than vanguards by one. But then if you look at the attackers, it's a long-ass list, and I almost feel like it's a bit unbalanced. So an inherent struggle is trying to get enough, like, healers on a team. So it's like, I also play Wanda, but I almost always just end up playing Luna, because no one wants to heal, which, to be fair, is the Overwatch problem all over again, where you're at the mercy of actually hoping people do team comps that make sense, instead of just, you know, wanting to play the character they think is the coolest, basically. So it does create this inherent problem of... Yeah, sometimes you just don't really get to have fun in games like this, and I mean, all multiplayer games have moments like this, where it's like... Yeah, sometimes, you know, in multiplayer you're just not allowed to have fun, because you have to, like, you know, fighting games have this problem hugely, obviously, where it's like, sometimes you literally just get to sit and watch as someone combos you to death over and over again, and you don't really get a say in this. So yeah, that is a fun... bit of... like, a fun aspect of multiplayer games is what I'm trying to say. We have a lot of attackers. Also, I'm not tapped in. That would help. It's like, I guess I'm going Luna again, just because we have, like, no other healer. And we have 3 attackers.
30 seconds.
I also feel like the multiverse concept with Galacta creates a lot of room for creativity with designs. So like, in the case of Luna, this design is close to one from the comic site that I found. But obviously some characters take massive liberties in their designs. Probably one of the biggest is Wolverine, and I'm really not a fan of that design actually. Mostly the shoes throw me off. It's like the white sneakers feels very much like the kicks system in Fortnite at the moment, where it's like, this just feels like it's kind of clashing. Part of me is also like, okay, what if I just switch to Fortnite again? But I don't want to be known as a Fortnite streamer. Like, I promise I'll get back to, like, single-player games soonish. It's just a matter of finding time and, like, getting my other... like, getting other things in order first. Like, I almost played Portal today because I know that's a short game. But I didn't know how much time I would have after, like, talking about, like, Game of the Year stuff. Speaking of Game of the Year stuff, there's also the Game Awards coming up soon on Thursday. I'm extraordinarily indifferent towards the Game Awards at this point, for reasons, but I definitely am mildly curious if anything interesting will be announced. Traditionally, stuff announced at the Game Awards is extraordinarily out of my radar, so it's like, it's not for me kind of a thing. Like, cool games have been announced at the Game Awards, it's just a matter of, yeah, not really something up my alley. It's like, we're in such a weird place with the industry with all the layoffs and stuff that I genuinely don't know what could be announced that would get me excited is the thing. I'm really not sure how, like, Wanda's stun move works. It's also weird how I say Wanda for some reason. Maybe, I think that's an MCU thing, because she was not actually called Scarlet Witch for so long. When I think of the character, I just think Wanda Maximoff, but in a way that's different than other superheroes, where I kind of feel like with other superheroes, I think of them as the superhero name, but with Wanda specifically, I think of her more as Wanda. I don't know what the distinction is. Yeah, my feelings on the Game Awards is I just don't really vibe with the presentation and everything. I'm curious to see how it goes. I don't know if I'll watch myself unless, like, people are co-streaming it, but even then, I'm, like, not really sure. And the past couple of years, they've given away, like, Steam Decks during the Game Awards, but I haven't seen anything about that this year. To the point where it makes me wonder if they are even trying to do that this time. There's also the very fun dynamic a couple of years ago where they were actually trying to give them away based on time, which backfired because people gave very long speeches. And then the year after, they made them cut down on speech length, which makes you wonder if there's a correlation. Yeah, part of me is like, what if I just switch to a different game? Because it's like, I'm back on the I don't think I'm having fun with Marvel Rivals phase, which goes back and forth like every, you know, hour it feels like at this point. It's like, maybe I'm just not cut out for hero shooters. In terms of fighting games, now that I'm thinking about it, that's like the most excited thing I am about anything at the moment, just because fighting games are such a, in such a good spot right now, unless you're like a NetherRealm fan, unfortunately, because MK is not doing the best. I think I've talked about that on the stream before, that like Mortal Kombat is supposedly struggling a bit. I actually don't know if I talked. You just started the game? Oh, I'm sorry. I can keep playing. To be fair, if I do a raid, I have someone in mind. You can guess who. In which case, I would have to wait another, like, 20 minutes anyway. So, I might keep playing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
But, like, the big question that people keep asking, in a general sense, is when are we getting something new from Capcom? And my guess is we will, but I still think it's too soon. But then I also think about, oh yeah, they announced the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 before the Arcade Classics MVC Collection was out. So like, they clearly don't care. Like, they'll announce this stuff well in advance. And also have it out very quickly, because Capcom is on a wild, like, role at the moment. They're doing oddly well. With some franchises I need to specify, because like if you're a Dino Crisis fan, you're really going through it for like 20 years now, and there's no real sign of that changing.
Capture the mission area.
But it's like if you're a Resident Evil fan, you're in a great spot. If you're a fighting game fan that's not Darkstalkers, you're sitting pretty right now. Otherwise, you're like Dino Crisis fans, kind of going through it right now.
Be strong together.
It's just a matter of like, you know, old Capcom fighting games had a lot of asset reuse, and they can't do that quite as much anymore. So like, you know, with Morrigan, she would always show up in crossover games. It'd be literally the Darkstalkers one sprite, like over and over again. And they can't really do that as well, I think, because like if they just plop like Morrigan from like MVC
A nice deep freeze.
Infinite into like a new game, I don't think that would go over well. I think like the climate is different for like asset reuse in terms of it just being dismissed as like lazy, and I personally think that's really annoying. I do not like that. I think asset reuse is extraordinarily pragmatic, to be honest. Like, why make all new assets and animations just because they need to do something arbitrarily different if everything is still like functional? Morrigan's a unique case though, where like some of those animations definitely don't feel that functional. In certain games, they definitely feel very out of place. I feel like I'm too much on autopilot at the moment. Like, I'm not even like trying to play very well. Like, I'm just really not feeling this game at the moment.
Someone needs a snowball in the face.
But again, that's just kind of been me with this game, where it's like, sometimes I'm feeling it, other times I'm really not feeling it. And it's like, I can't really tell from moment to moment how I'm gonna even feel about it. It's like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, maybe I'm looking forward to playing this game. And then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'm not looking forward to playing this game. Maybe I should have just played Fortnite. Also wish I could turn off chat, to be honest, but again, that's just a me thing, because I just never enjoy chatting in games. You know, this is actually probably a risky game to stream because of that, because it's like, people could definitely say things that could get your channel in trouble. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't be streaming this. Like, maybe this is a bad call. Hello, welcome. I don't know what we're doing. You're okay, fine. We'll keep playing a little bit longer. My biggest issue is I just think team-based games are just inherently, like, better if you have a full squad, but with, like, Fortnite... With Fortnite, you only need 4 people. With this game, in, like, Overwatch, you need, like, 6 people. So it's harder to get a full squad by comparison to, Fortnite, where... Fortnite also has, like, trios and duos, so you really don't need a full squad the same way. But, like, Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, you basically... You can only play with a full team, or, you know, not. There's no, like, in-between where it's like, yeah, you can do, like, a 3v3, or at least in this game, there's no 3v3 yet. I know there was an Overwatch eventually. So yeah, I'm just kind of winging it. Again, missed yesterday's stream and wanted to kind of try to get back into the swing of it. I might try to stream tomorrow and do something more, like, traditional, quote-unquote. See, like, I just want to play attacker, but everyone always picks attacker, so I just end up being Luna every time.
I shine in darkness.
See, like, that's a lot of attackers, and we only have 1 Vanguard. That's, like, not my favorite thing in the world. Oh yeah, there's a season bonus, too. That's weird to me, that they have, like, literally, like, bonuses depending on what season you're in. Like, that's weird. It's like, imagine like having to relearn a meta just because, oh, suddenly your character's like semi-nerfed just because it's a different season. So I'm really wondering how they balance everything, and right now it doesn't feel like they're doing the best job in the world.
You did?
I forgot what the beta balancing was like, but I remember complaints then too. I also don't think I got into the console beta. I kind of was thinking I maybe tried it on console, but I don't think I actually did. I think I only played the first PC beta.
2, 1.
I also didn't play that enough to get like the special Wanda skin, and also that was on Steam, so I don't think I would have transferred anyway. Since I'm on Epic. Then there's like the Venom skin for the PS5 beta, which I did not get into, but I also would not know how to link my progress anyway. It's kind of like a crappy thing to basically give you bonuses that are tied to the console you originally played on, because like if you're on PC and realize, oh wait, I can't actually run this, then you're just kind of stuck with that skin on that one platform. So I really do hope they add in cross progression at some point. They talked about it, I just don't know when it'll happen. I feel like people have very questionable usernames in this game compared to other multiplayer games I've played, which again makes me nervous about streaming this game. I don't know if this VOD is gonna stay up forever, to be honest.
I like the cold.
I have found more lost souls.
I guess another problem I'm having is also sort of
My strength is returning.
I don't know, non-optional, I think is the way I'm feeling. Like, I don't know if that sounds too harsh or not, but that's the best word I can come up with, or functory maybe is a good word for it, where, like, I'd rather be playing other games than this, to be honest, like with friends and stuff, but like, this is what friends have been wanting to play, so I feel like I'm just having, if I want to play games with friends, I'm going to have to play this game. But I'm also just not a fan of it, just because I'm not super into Euro shooters. And again, a lot of my issues with the game are not even a reflection of anything the game is actually doing wrong. Though again, there are some issues I could legitimately try to criticize, like balancing in some places. But again, a lot of my issues with the game, I just fully admit, are a skill issue on my part. Just me not... Like, I'm playing on controller, for one thing. I just have never learned keyboard and mouse because I find it really uncomfortable. So I'm inherently playing against the meta in a sense because I'm not using, you know, the preferred control method for an FPS or TPS like this.
I've still got songs to sing. Fear
I'm not even using all my moves. I keep forgetting to use some of them. Even in the last match with Iron Fist, I forgot to use a move.
Judge, jury,
I am ready to put on a show.
Oh, did not get to Captain America in time. That is on me.
I feel better already.
Can't get people to play with you, so frustrating playing with Mandos. Yeah, that's another problem. Timing sometimes. Like, a lot of times what ends up happening is I see people playing and I just join off of them, like in other servers and such. Like, if people are hanging out a voice call and they have an empty spot, I'll just like try to volunteer myself essentially, and then every time I play with like pure randoms, I feel like I'm having the worst time. And that's again not anything new. That's Overwatch as well in a nutshell. I never even got to play Overwatch with like friends. I don't think ever. Hell, I think someone bought me the game to play with them, and I still never ended up playing with them. Like, I'm trying to remember, and I feel like there was some story like that. Where, like, someone literally bought me Overwatch 1 to play with them, and then we never actually played together.
I like the cold. songs to sing.
Mad! Need some ranged firepower. Just as Dr. Orr.
I like the cold.
This on your tail.
Oh, so hi, Esper. Welcome in. I got really quiet because I'm sort of trying to focus. It might not feel like it's helping my gameplay, and I don't think it is. But again, I'm sort of trying to focus a little bit more than I was. I think their team comp is just really good at the moment.
I was worried.
My characters I haven't really fought yet, so I don't really know what to do against them.
0, 2, 3.
So basically, we have to just, you know, win really fast, get a better time than them, but that's not gonna happen, I don't think.
I'm Luna's
Unless something majorly shakes up for next time.
in darkness.
You'll need a top-notch team.
Oh, I can't even play Luna because someone already took Luna. Well, that sucks. We have 2 attackers, 2 healers, so I guess I have to go Vanguard, but I don't know how to play any of these characters, is the only problem. Genuinely have no idea how to play these characters. Guess we'll try Venom, because I don't know what else to do. Actually, let's look at star ratings really quick. Yeah, Venom's difficulty 1. See, I would play Penny, but she's a difficulty 5. And every time I've tried to play Penny, it's gone horrifically badly. So I don't think I'm cut out to be a Penny main.
Wow, you look tough.
You look like you belong in high school. What?
Oh, Venom's slow.
Singer.
I don't listen to music. I punish criminals.
Well, we are in the right place for that. Let's go.
Oh, there's special dialogue depending on who you're playing. That's neat.
5, 4,
Oh, Venom's like a low range. That's right. That's to be really close. I mean, he has a tank, so I guess it's not too big of a deal. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. Full disclosure, we're probably going to lose this because I don't know this character whatsoever. I don't even know his moves. This is the bonus health, is R1. I don't know what that did. Unleash tentacles to slow enemies within reach. Dash to the target location from a certain height. So it has to be higher up, I guess. To use this move. Oh, that's what that move is. No idea before now, because I have not looked at this move list whatsoever. Yeah, we have a balanced team comp. Actually, we have a similar team comp anyway. I can probably switch to Wanda, and it'll probably go just as bad, but hey, it's worth a chance at this point.
But I am fighting every day.
It's like we can take all the help we can get at this junction. Yeah, my biggest issue right now is all the games I want to stream are like really daunting RPGs. They're like, oh, this game is only a 15-hour game. That's still like 5 streams minimum. So yeah, I have a lot of plans for next year. For starters, I want to make Tuesday a regular stream day, but usually like, you know, probably a little bit shorter. I can actually, if I can get my act together, I can probably stream earlier on Tuesday. I can probably start at 3 if I really push it. So like 4 on Monday, and then hopefully 3 p.m. going forward. But that's very, that's very much something I need to work on in terms of like sleep schedule. But I would like to stream like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just to have more streams. The one problem with that is there's no break in between streams.
Make the same mistakes again.
Executioner!
But Friday is kind of out for other reasons, so unfortunately, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is like the best option. I might go up to 3 days to start like early next year, or maybe late this year. Like next week we'll try to do like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. Oh, they're switching to Hawkeye, so I should probably switch to a healer, because god, does this team need help at the moment. We have a minute left.
Only 60 seconds left.
Thanks so much.
Get Spider Lady to Budokan. Our foes have arrived.
The other issue I'm having with this game is just I kind of feel like it can be difficult to tell what you can interact with and what you can't, without just holding down like a button at all times. Like sometimes I'll think something's destructible and try attacking it and nothing will happen. And it's like, oh. Especially when you get to like Tokyo 2099, where so much is destructible that when you find something that isn't destructible, it's kind of like jarring actually.
I've still got songs to sing.
Like, oh yeah, like entire buildings are destructible in some cases, but others aren't. So there's like a lack of consistency there, I think.
The moon!
We are undefeated. Against the world. Keep fighting until we have a winner.
So yeah, that went well.
Final score 0-2-3. Well, you can't expect to win them all.
So yeah, it's just kind of a recurring case of like, I do think I generally get frustrated with like team-based games because you're at the mercy of so many other people also being on board basically, to the point of I just get a little bit like worn out trying to like hope for the best with people, I think. One more. I think we have time for one more. Again, I was planning for this to be about a half-hour stream. We're just about to hit that like time window, so that should be enough, hopefully. The irony is, as much as I'm complaining about the game, I'm probably just gonna end up in a voice call immediately after and end up playing this game with people. Because again, this is kind of the game that people want to play at the moment. You know, it being free definitely helps, and being new, and Marvel. And again, maybe if I can get into a squad, I'll have a better time, but just like, you know, playing with 1 or 2 people at a time, which has been my experience for the most part. I think the most people I've ever played with, like, was 4 on a team, and even then, it's like, you're still at the mercy of the 2 randoms working well with what you have comp-wise. We're getting Spider Islands a lot, and I don't really like this map. It's like the aesthetic is really nice, but again, it's just a little bit confusing with how much is destructible. Because I play healer, I also just end up waiting and see what everyone else does. Like, you know, if someone else picks healer, I'm gonna play Wanda or someone else. But then normally that doesn't happen, so I just end up playing Luna anyway.
Like the moon, I shine in darkness.
It's fun though. Again, this is a case that's very lucky for me, because this has definitely been a problem in other games. Diva is probably the #1 example, where I don't really like her style of tank, to be honest. So that's why I ended up switching to Orisa eventually in Overwatch. Oh yeah, but I think I was starting to talk about this earlier, but got sidetracked. I have also played Paladins, Champions of the Realm. Another free-to-play example. There's a lot of microtransactions. In Paladins, I mostly played Ying, who's kind of like Loki in this game, actually. Wow, my brain is shutting down trying to play the game and talk at the same time. Who else did I play? Mostly the Fox Girl, of course. This is the surprise to literally nobody, I take it. But Io was the other character I played a lot. There was also like a bunny girl at the end. I forget her name, but I played her a little bit. I mostly played support in that game too. All three were support actually. So yeah, I tend to gravitate to support, partly because of like min-maxing. You know, I've talked about this before, I think, with like Splatoon, where sometimes if you pick the least popular team, you get matches faster, so there's a benefit to that. If you pick the most popular team, you'll get stuck in mirror match hell, or just it'll take a long time to matchmake. So there are benefits to picking like the least popular team in Splatoon, or what you perceive as the least popular team, just because it will help the matchmaking in some ways. And similar with hero shooters, I find if I play support, and especially in the games that have like roll queue, you get matches way faster if you mostly play support. So I usually do that. Oh yeah, this is just the same map as before. So yeah, this is just the same setup. No wonder I'm like, why does this feel so familiar? Hi Nicole, welcome. Hope you're doing okay. I am currently, going through something. Again, I'm trying to think of any other hero shooters I've played, and I think it's just Overwatch 1 and 2, this, and Paladins. In general, though, I think I stopped playing Paladins because they were suddenly putting in, like, AI art or something, or at least saying they would put in AI art. I don't know if they actually did or not. But that is why I stopped playing Paladins, I'm pretty sure. In Overwatch, I stopped playing because literally, like, there's a laundry list of reasons why I stopped playing Overwatch. You know, Activision stuff, just overall balancing being off-kilter, losing all of my cosmetics because of, like, a name change, essentially. Which was not on, like, Activision's end, for once. I don't get to blame them on this, but I basically voluntarily lost all my cosmetics because I wanted a new account and to get away from, like, people who knew me, essentially. Which might sound a little bit excessive, but it's a long story. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm feeling relatively okay, all things considered. Again, it's an odd case where it's like I'm simultaneously, like, iffy on the game, but I also don't feel like I'm particularly, like, tilted or anything. I'm just kind of like, I'm not necessarily having, like, a ton of fun with this game, but I'm also not, like, mad at this game. It's just kind of, like, neutral, which is better than Overwatch, so that is a point in this game's favor. It's like, as much as I feel like my win ratio is awful in this game, I do feel like it's less infuriating than Overwatch, which is more just like, there's a combination of a ton of reasons why Overwatch is just, like, to me, an excessively frustrating experience, but again. It's largely a case of like, oh yeah, then you have to deal with the company that owns Overwatch and everything surrounding that. And so there's so many other factors at play as well beyond just, I don't think Overwatch is very fun. Me soloing a Hawkeye was probably not the smartest call, all things considered. I probably could have died there very easily. But hey, it worked out, so I'll take it. Oh yeah, I meant to talk about the Twitch recap, but I totally spaced out on that, to be honest. I haven't even looked at my stats for the year, truth be told. I think I can guess, though. It's probably pretty obvious. Oh, that was Loki the whole time. In terms of, like, big online games, most of the ones I've actually, like, I'm trying to think of all the online games I've dedicated time to, because, like, that might sound like this is gonna take forever. It's a very short list. Splatoon 1 through 3. Smash Ultimate, I did play quite a bit online. Strive, I've played quite a bit online.
Including which side you're on.
And I say that when I've almost gone to like 170 hours or something.
In this one.
I'm Luna Snow.
Yeah, this is kind of like my overall feeling on this game. Is sometimes you just get a really terrible team, and there's like nothing you can really do about it. And again, like I was talking to like Minerva about this yesterday, where it's like, oh hi, it's Xylu, thank you for the follow. It's this case of like, I almost think ranked should have a role queue, to be honest, just because ranked feels like it should be taken more seriously, and yet people kind of don't, which sucks. Oh, at least finally we have Vanguard. But I'm also the only healer, so we're probably still going to die. But maybe slightly less spectacularly this time. Yeah, a lot of people just play, like, the character they like. Which is, again, the Overwatch problem of, like...
I'm opening a portal.
The battle starts in 5, 4.
Like, there's a benefit, oddly enough, of, like... just recently kind of, because of this game actually, developing a fondness for the character of Luna. Like, there's a benefit to that, from the perspective of
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
people aren't as, like, enthusiastic to play as her, which is a benefit in a way, because you don't have to fight other people as often to actually play as her. Like, people aren't going to be chomping at the bit to play Luna Snow if the other options are like, you know, Iron Man or Spider-Man. So that is an odd benefit of playing like a more niche character, is I feel like there is less like competing for that character.
I'm sorry I could not save you.
And like supposedly she is considered one of the best healers in the game if you like know what you're doing. But the only problem is I kind of am a terrible shot, and you actually need a lot of accuracy with Luna. Because, like, you know, her healing doesn't track, which I think is literally the one thing I wish would be changed about her. I don't think they will, but it is the one thing I really dislike about this character. Because, like, I feel like with Kiriko, if I'm remembering right, her healing would actually track to allies. In this case, you have to actually aim well, which ain't great. But also, as the only healer on this team, I'm having to do a lot at the moment, I feel. Not trying to undercut what everyone else is doing, in all fairness, like not trying to minimize what other team members are doing, but it just kind of feels like, you know... I know 14 has that problem too, like people always talk about healers being very much a thankless job in 14. When I used to play 14, I used to try to always give commendations specifically to like whoever the healer was, if I could, just because again, it is such a thankless job, it feels like. I don't know if I'd play a healer in 14. Truth be told, I've been wanting to play 14, but I have a plan. This is a stupid plan, but I have a plan. One of my 25 projects is to play every Final Fantasy on stream that I can manage. Not all of them. I don't think I'll do 11 because of, like, a lot of reasons, actually, but mostly just I don't want to pay money for a subscription for an online game that I'll probably not enjoy, because 11 is very antiquated from what I gather. But the other thing is I have all of them except 12. Like hard copies even for most of them, so like I could easily do a Final Fantasy marathon, and I'm kind of tempted to do so. The only problem with doing a Final Fantasy marathon is the games get progressively longer, it feels like. So like 1 and 2 aren't that bad, well 2 is kind of like frustrating by being FF2, but you know, 3 I don't think is very long. 4 is starting to get up there, I think. That's like probably 30 hours. 6 and 5 and 6 probably also like 30 to 40 hours. And then 7 through 9 are probably like 50 to 60.
A nice deep freeze. I don't have to be center stage.
Do they also only have one healer? Because that's... Oh, they have 2 healers. No wonder we're having problems.
Behind you.
But yeah, that is something I would like to do. I have another plan too, just going through all my favorite games next year.
Here they come now.
Probably in chronological order, because I'm really bad at actually like making an actual ranking for things. So I'd probably go in like chronological. But just go through a lot of my favorite games. But again, there's a problem with that. I like Xenoblade. I would probably do New Game Plus, and it would still take a long time.
Never miss.
Like, that's the sad part, is I like long video games, so if I want to play all my favorite games on the stream, that's gonna take forever. But again, maybe that's a good thing, because it gives me a lot of material to work with.
I'm back in the fight.
I don't think VC Face is having the best time. I'm looking at the stream preview, and sometimes it'll get really choppy. I don't think this game is like the best to be running as a VTuber.
A nice deep
I have a PNG tuber option, I just always forget to use it. Like, I can just stick a PNG of my model in the corner and have it stare at you. I've hired this fox to stare at you, basically.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Someone needs a snowball in the face.
But yeah, like, if I play all my favorite games, that's gonna include so many RPGs. There's like Mario and Luigi, the originals, there's a lot of Final Fantasy in there. Mostly 6, 9, and 10 are usually the ones I say are my favorites. I like 7 too, it's just like, I think I played it too late. It's the Ocarina of Time effect, where it's like, if I had played FF7 like first, I probably would like it more, but because I played it so far after the others, it's just okay to me.
A nice deep freeze.
I don't even think the time we'll get back if we win this round will be enough to make it to the point in time. Because they got there with like 2.5 minutes remaining, so I think there's literally no way to win this.
We need to get the bag together.
Because I want to say you only get 3 minutes back. Oh, I was the only one that died to that. Cool. The other problem with being a healer is people will try to go after you specifically because you're the healer. So that has the fun dynamic of...
Back in the fight. Final score.
That's the thing with RPGs. Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Quest would be fun too. Like, I've thought about picking up the remake of 3. Just waiting for a price drop, basically. That one's not like... That's multi-platform for one thing, so it will get a price drop more easily than like the ones published by Nintendo. So yeah, that was Marvel Rivals. I will probably never play this game on stream again unless friends want to play it. Because yeah, this is kind of my Marvel Rivals experience of just like kind of getting walled because I'm at the mercy of randoms and hoping they actually play well. Which the answer is oftentimes not great. Again, I'll keep playing this game on my own time because like I am enjoying this game to some extent. But it's just like, yeah, not really high on my list right now. I'd rather be playing Fortnite, to be honest. But that might say more about me than anything. That says more about me than anything on the game itself, in all fairness. Hi, Icy. Thank you for the head pats. We were just about to end, though, again. I was just mostly waiting at this point. I don't know why I hit tournament. I was trying to hit gallery. Yeah, like, a lot of love has been put into this game, and I do fully admit that. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in this game. There's a lot I do really like about it. It's just the frustration of, yeah, I think I put it in one server, like, this is both Overwatch affectionate and Overwatch derogatory, where it's like, it has a lot of the really good aspects of early Overwatch, but it does have some of the cons as well, which again mostly boil down to balancing and just like, it is inherently better if you have a full squad, which is like harder for a 6v6 than a, you know, Fortnite style game where you can have a little bit of flexibility in how many people you want hanging out. But that's just me at the moment. Yeah, we'll probably end here though. That I also dropped like 30 frames, which doesn't surprise me. This game is not easy to run. But hey, thank you all for hanging out. Again, this was a very, like, impromptu kind of thing. Again, I would like Tuesday to be a normal stream day going forward in the future, but that is very much dependent on me fixing my sleep schedule, which ironically is made worse by streaming, because then I have to, like, get the VOD ready for YouTube and everything, which also does not help my sleep schedule. So it's like a weird self-perpetuating cycle of, I need to get to bed earlier, but then I also get working on projects. So, we'll see. We'll see how this works out. But again, I would like to stream more days. I like how me streaming Marvel Rivals counted for the Twitch drops, I think. I'll have to look into that off stream, but I think I got the Twitch drops because I streamed Marvel Rivals, and that technically counts as me watching it, because I have my own stream up to make sure nothing breaks, and to look at chat, so... Yay? Question mark? Yeah, next stream, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be tomorrow. Back to single-player stuff for a little bit. My current plan... Oh, you got it too, cool. Nice. So yeah, it's just like a viewer thing, but I'm technically a viewer of my own stream because I'm monitoring it, so it counted enough, so it's like, that's very fascinating. See, like, I really want the name tag for Luna specifically, because of course I do, but the inherent thing with games like this is I don't really like spending stuff on games. Like, this is the weird thing that I'm feeling with this game. I simultaneously want to buy cosmetics for this game, which is very unusual for me, because normally I don't. Which I think shows something about the quality of the character designs, at the very least, that, you know, even as someone who's not really a Marvel fan, I'm like, I really would like some of these cosmetics. That's just a matter. I don't know if I want to spend money on a game that I'm, like, this... back and forth on, this hot and cold on, because I do feel like I keep going back and forth on, like, overall enjoyment. At the very least, I might pick up like this, just to have the nameplate. That's 150, that's not that bad. So I'm still rocking, like, the default nameplate after all this time. But, again, there's a lot of rumored stuff for Fortnite, though, and I'm probably going to save up for that instead, so... Also, apologies that my voice probably sounds really rough tonight. I am having massive allergies at the moment, so, yeah, just wanted to mention that. Yeah, next stream hopefully will be tomorrow. I do not have a game picked, unfortunately. I might do, like... Sonic again. I might do a couple Sonic games, to be honest. I have one in mind. That's gonna only be one stream, hopefully. But which one will be a surprise. I also want to play more, like, games in general. But again, to go through, like, just my favorite games, like, of all time. Yeah, you have, like, 2 Xenoblades, 5 Mario RPGs, 3 Final Fantasies. Would I count Kingdom Hearts 2 as a favorite game? And Birth by Sleep. That's, like, kind of borderline, but, you know, for the sake of inclusion, throw Kingdom Hearts in there. And yeah, the list gets really long, and a lot of Zelda, too. So again, I like long games, unfortunately. I am someone who very much enjoys very long games. Oh yeah, Persona 5 is extraordinarily long. So yeah, if I tried to go through all my favorite games, this will take a couple of years at minimum, even with an increase in my streaming schedule. But yeah, this is just me rambling. This was sort of a chatting stream anyway. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for the follows. Also, thank you to Kuro Comics 13 off stream for the follow. Thank you once again. And yeah, we'll try to stream again tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be a longer stream too. No one's complaining about long games, true, but then I worry about like burnout, because it's like, if I try to stream a Xenoblade, and I'm streaming it like 3 hours a week, or 3 to 6 hours a week if I can actually do more days, that still is gonna take like several weeks to get through, or a couple months. But again, if I do Xenoblade on stream, it will likely be New Game Plus, just for the sake of not having to grind as much, just to speed it up a little bit. Because with Xenoblade, me playing Xenoblade on stream would largely be for the benefit of showing off the story and characters, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like Xenoblade gameplay a lot. 2 is very obtuse at times, and 3 has some very fundamental issues in terms of gameplay balancing, with like specifically roles, again, where it's like, yeah, tanking is not fun in that game. So yeah, I mostly gravitate to Xenoblade for story reasons, therefore I would probably just do New Game Plus to focus more on the story, and also do like side quest stuff that I never got. Like, obviously Ursula is a big one. Trying to go for the uber rare blade also in Xenoblade 2, which I think would be easier on New Game Plus. And I think I am still missing a non-special, like, there's the special rare blade that everyone talks about, and I think there's still one other one that I'm actually missing. So I'd probably try to get that one too. Fill out a lot of the affinity charts. Try to do as much as I can, basically, and try to, like, 100% Xenoblade 2, but do it through, New Game Plus. Yeah, when I say 100%, that makes everything feel a lot more daunting. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't 100% Xenoblade on stream. Maybe that's a terrible idea. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I think we're going to do a raid. I think you can guess exactly who we're going to raid, just because this is who I'm probably going to go watch immediately after this stream ends. But as you may be able to guess, we are going to be raiding Green Power Star, who is currently playing Star Fox Zero as a sub-choice. So I am actually a Star Fox Zero defender, to be honest. So I'm very curious to see how she fares with this game, truth be told. Because as much as I still defend that game, I admit it has a lot of problems. So yeah, hope everyone has a good rest of their day. Yeah, good night and take care.